Are you tired of weak, watered-down coffee? Blackout coffee, it is bold, it is fresh, and it is roasted right here in Florida. Shipped fast to all 50 states. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/scroll and use code SCROLL for 20% off your first order. Don't settle. Upgrade your coffee now. Andy's drinking Blackout coffee as we speak. And Justin, they put yourselves on camera so everyone can see you're drinking your coffee in your nightly scroll mugs. We love to see it. I had my coffee before I came in today, but, just shameless plug here. We're all hyped up on Blackout coffee. All right, so what do we have on the show this evening? Democrats like Tampon Tim, liberal psychics, TikTok witches, all of them alike, all believe that President Trump was dead, and they were dead wrong. Also, Congress is back in session. Wow, I'm so glad that our public servants are well rested. It's only been, a month? Then Mayor Brandon Johnson from Chicago tells Chicagoans to stand up to federal troops if/when President Trump decides to send them in after a holiday weekend bloodbath. And a deranged Taylor Swift fan got her name legally changed, and she wants Taylor to know. All right, all of that and so much more on this episode of Nightly Scroll. Quick reminder to watch the show on Rumble if you can. Rumble.com/Haley is the only place you can watch Nightly Scroll. That'll bring you to the Bongino Report channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Then you can join all of my friends in the chat, all of my homies. It's a lot of fun. If you want to listen later on, you could do that. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your shows. It should be up there. What is it? The next morning now we're trying to get those Spotify numbers up when people are listening to their podcasts in the morning. So that's when you can find it. How was your Labor Day weekend, guys?
It was chill. We ate some food. I was telling you, it was like
No
the
way.
weekend of the documentary. I mean, ate some food we ate
standard.
in the essence of Labor Day, though. Lots of like burgers and like a hot dog. That kind of thing.
Americana.
And so, chilled. And as you know, it was a little dodgy at times with the weather here, and so I caught up on my Dallas Cowboys by watching the new Netflix series about the Cowboys. Highly recommend it.
Is there I didn't hear that. There is a new Netflix series about them?
Yeah, it's a good investment of 6 or 7 hours to watch the Netflix. I know that's right up your
Thanks for the recommendation.
They didn't lose a lot in the documentary because it's on the 90s Cowboys when they won all the championships.
Okay.
And so, but it was pretty good.
So reminiscing on good times. Justin, how was your weekend? Good? You ate some steak, I heard?
It was good. Had some steak for Labor Day. Yeah,
Okay.
A whole bunch of nothing. Chill weekend.
What did I eat? I went out to dinner a few times, got some good food. So that's good. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you saw that I unfortunately got caught in the rain playing golf this weekend. Justin thought the video was so funny that we should play it. So if you have seen it, you're about to see it again. If you haven't seen it, I was playing golf yesterday, got caught in the rain. It was a downpour, the likes of which the world has never seen before. Not to, copy President Trump. I can't do a Trump impersonation, but it was a torrential downpour, like a monsoon. All of my clubs were wet. My grips were wet. Glove was wet. Cart wet. Everything. And I tried to clean everything off. I tried my best to dry off. I was using my club head covers. I didn't have a towel with me. Stupid. That's my fault. Trying to wipe down the grips so that, I could continue playing, because this was like the third hole. I'm obviously going to keep playing. And I chucked my club into the pond. So we have the video of that. There it goes. Maybe the slow-mo. Totally flew out of my hands.
You threw the hands well, though. I mean, that.
I have great form, great swing. And unfortunately, it was just too strong and too slippery. So totally lost. And people were commenting, it's a good thing that there weren't any alligators. I should have thought about that, because I have seen alligators, not at this course in particular, but I have seen snakes here. So that was kind of stupid. But I'm obviously going to go in after my driver. What am I going to do? Leave the driver there?
So like
so it can just die in the pond graveyard? No.
At this point, are you yelling four?
No, there was no one there.
Oh, okay. No, well, that's good. I'm glad you got the club back.
I did have to step into the pond a few steps. It was like right at the edge, but I did have to step maybe like 3 steps. So my sneakers were wet, and then I played the rest of the round in my socks, wet socks. But that was my.
So explain to me this camera angle. That's what I was trying to. You had.
I have a magnetic phone mount
on the cart.
Mm-hmm. And
I got it.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I will film my tee shot or something for social media, or just so that I can see what I'm doing right or wrong. And I happened to be filming when I just decided to send it.
Send it
into the lake.
If you're going to full send a club, send the driver.
Send the driver. Unfortunately, it would have been better if I just threw it, into the fairway. Threw it a few feet ahead of me, but I really, I full sent it into the lake. So anyway, also, not to go off on this for so long, but I was like, I really hope that no one saw that because it was embarrassing. But then I put it on social media, so then whatever, everyone saw it. But I was wondering, or not wondering, but I was a little nervous about, I don't know, bacteria in the water. People talk about, brain-eating amoeba and flesh-eating bacteria in these, still water. But then...
No, did you? Go ahead.
But then I kid you not, there were these 2 little kids, and they were wakeboarding in one of the ponds on the golf course. One of them had a bike, and he was biking, and the other guy was on a makeshift water ski type situation. So I was like, if they are fully submerged in the water and they're seemingly okay, I'm probably okay in my wet socks.
Well, I'm glad all went well, and the club was saved.
And I shot an 83, so I redeemed myself. So it was pretty good. I was happy with that. Okay, well, let's get into tonight's show. A bunch of people thought that President Trump was dead over the weekend. This isn't the first time that the left has seethed over the potential demise, and it is not going to be the last. Here's just one of those videos posted yesterday. Watch.
Truly, we don't know what's going on, so let's just stick to the facts here, okay? Fact number 1, the last time Donald Trump was seen in an on-camera, verifiable way was August 26, 2025, during the cabinet meeting. Since then, nothing. No press pool spray, no shouted questions, no live movement at all. Fact number 2, just 2 days later, on August 28th, J.D. Vance tells USA Today that he is ready to assume the presidency. God forbid there's a terrible tragedy.
Which is his job.
Fact number 3. On August 24th, it was J.D. Vance who went on record saying that Russia had made significant concessions when it came to Ukraine peace talks. This happening right before Trump disappears from view, when J.D. Vance wasn't even the one who spoke with Vladimir Putin, 2 weeks ago, feels odd. I'll say it. As if it couldn't get any weirder, over Labor Day weekend this weekend, Trump's Truth Social account has blasted out more than 40 posts over a 24-hour period. Some were rambling texts, some were AI-generated images of him, and it was just not how Trump writes. He's crazy and unhinged, but he's a very specific kind of crazy and unhinged, And then fast forward to August 30th, when we see the Trump's Virginia golf outing photos, which people immediately clocked as being recycled from 2023 and 2024. So let's recap here. On August 24th, J.D. Vance takes the lead on Ukraine. August 26th was Trump's last verified public sighting. August 28th, we have J.D. Vance publicly signaling that he's ready to step into office. And now, over the last 48 hours, we have these old photos of Trump resurfacing. We have his accounts being flooded with 40-plus ghost-written posts about Labor Day weekend. And look, maybe Trump's fine. Maybe this is just bad comms. But when you line it up like this, with the dates and the quotes and the recycled optics and the flood of posts that don't sound like him, the picture emerges pretty clearly. And look, we know that J.D. Vance has always been the plan, right? He just was never popular enough to actually run for president himself, but he's Peter Thiel's guy. So he had to ride Trump's coattails to get into office, but he is the plan. So it's starting to look like Trump was just this battering ram, right? This chaos agent who normalized the atmosphere that we now live in. But now that that atmosphere is locked in, he's no longer essential. The system doesn't need him anymore. They just need the conditions that he's normalized.
I mean, Listen, I love TikTok. I scroll all the time. But an unfortunate side effect of TikTok is that everyone has a platform. Everybody can just put their phone up and just start rambling, and they could say whatever. And then all these other Trump deranged losers pile on, and then they're in her comment section, egging her on like, yeah, he's totally dead. Yeah, he's totally dead. I haven't seen him in 3 days. Here's another one. This one TikTok user claimed she saw a helicopter en route to Walter Reed, so it must be Trump. Watch.
If Donald Trump's health is fine, why did I just see 3 Marine One helicopters fly over College Park 35 minutes ago in the direction of the Walter Reed Hospital when he has
in the direction of
scheduled calendar events?
In the direction of. And of course, they're obsessed with the fact that he had no scheduled events. No scheduled events. Meanwhile, were they paying attention under Biden? He had no scheduled events ever. Barely. And if he was, he tripped on the way there. He fell down on the way out. I mean, seriously. There was a moment in time. Do you remember when it was like, is that Biden? Is that like a Biden impersonator in a mask? Do you remember the Biden that was like randomly 7'3" that showed up that one time?
Or the photo that was at Jimmy Carter's when he looked like he was in the house with a bunch of hobbits.
But I would say that those conspiracy theories were more founded because Biden was MIA. All of a sudden, they'd have Biden doing a press conference from like a fake White House set, and people were like, "Where is he? What's going on?" I mean, it was weird. This is the most transparent presidency we've ever seen. So when the guy takes off for 2 days on a holiday weekend, people just start to lose their minds. But it's not just crazy, liberal ladies, white liberal Karens on TikTok. Tampon Tim got in on it. Watch this.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying.
And people laughing, by the way.
There will be news sometime, just so you know. There will be news.
Kind of like teasing it. Trump is going to die one day, which is true. We're all going to die one day. But the fact that the crowd is egging it on, laughing, really gross. And Tim Walz is egging them on by saying, everyone's thinking there's going to be news and there will be news. Gross. Then this fueled some more rumors about President Trump's whereabouts, what was going on. Did you see this video of someone throwing something out of a room of the White House? Watch this. Out the window.
A little outhouse on the end.
Second floor of the White House.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
Throwing something out the window. I don't know who it is. Don't know what it is. People in the comments were like, we got to get cameramen with Androids instead of iPhones because we can't see what's going on here.
This is crazy. I know.
But they're zooming in and someone is throwing something out the window of the White House.
This could definitely make Washingtonian proud. This could definitely make it.
Are they going to throw something again in this video? I don't know. Yep, there it goes. Throwing something else out. You see some movement in that window. Listen, users speculated that they were throwing out the Epstein files, the Constitution, Trump's dirty diapers, J.D. Vance's couch cushions, Melania Trump's go bag, because apparently she's trying to escape. So everyone was coming up with something. A lot of them were just jokes. Do the windows even open? I tried to ask people, sources who may know, if the White House windows open. According to some rumors, they don't open. You need to remove the window entirely. I can't imagine that the windows don't open. But I don't know. For safety purposes, maybe they don't. I have no idea. Also, according to rumors online, this window is from a bathroom off the Lincoln bedroom in the first family's residence. People are speculating that the bathroom could be renovated. And I reached out to another source of mine in DC who says that the White House claims it is a contractor doing regular maintenance while the president was gone, because apparently contractors aren't allowed in there when the president is there. And, President Trump has been talking about contractors being at the White House. Of course, they redid the Rose Garden. He was just complaining about a stupid contractor who scratched the new Rose Garden, something in the Rose Garden. And of course, they are planning this massive $90 million ballroom. So there are contractors around. Would they be in the Lincoln bedroom? I don't know. But much to the liberals' dismay, President Trump was seen this weekend. He was seen on Labor Day. Images are just...
Did you hear Peter Doocy ask Trump about that video?
We have the video. It's coming up.
Okay. Oh, well, you're skipping topics. I didn't know you were about to jump to it. No. About the window video.
Window video.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Peter Doocy asked him about the window video. Trump claims it's AI and that those windows do not open.
I don't think it's AI.
I'm not saying he's right, but that's what he said.
I don't know about that. It doesn't look like AI to me. But
that's what he claims.
But then my friend, who's a White House reporter, said that the White House told her it was a contractor.
He claims it may be AI.
Doing routine work. He's just trolling.
He might be trolling. I'm not sure. But he said the windows do not open. He said they're bulletproof and like 400 pounds. They do not open.
I think they are bulletproof. They probably do open.
It also introduced this fantastic meme format.
Love showing President Trump something. I absolutely love it. But, much to the liberals' dismay, President Trump was seen. And he did go golfing with Kai Trump. He was en route. He was seen en route to Trump National Golf Club, played golf with Kai. I think that's such a blessing, right? We're used to seeing President Biden on the beach. I don't mind it. I like when presidents have time off. They deserve it. I like when we see President Trump working way more often than President Biden, making these speeches and getting out in front of the media way more often than President Biden was. And if you need to blow off some steam and play golf with your granddaughter, by all means. And honestly, if we saw Biden more often, I'd say, go ahead, go to the beach. Like, I don't care. But of course, seeing President Trump in the flesh was not enough for liberals with a flair for the macabre. So here's Republicans against Trump. They posted this on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram. I posted it on my story earlier today. And this is, of course, a blurry photo of President Trump. And then they enhanced it somehow because it was a blurry photo of President Trump. And it looks deformed. That does not look, the picture on the left looks like President Trump. The way that they enhanced it does not look like President Trump. It looks like there's something going on. There's like a bulge in the middle of his eyeball or something. I think this is clearly just whatever system they used to enhance this photo is not good. He looks like Sloth from the Goonies. He does not look like... That does not look like Trump. The left photo looks like Trump, but whatever they did does not.
Does that imply that you've seen the Goonies?
Yes.
Okay, well,
I'm not trying
to. You're cooking. I'm not trying to get you off topic here, but dang, I just want to.
Yes,
the people, just making sure that you said you've seen the Goonies.
I have. Yes, I have. But President Trump, of course, did speak from the Oval Office today. He made an announcement about moving the U.S. Space Command from Colorado to Huntsville, Alabama. He said it's going to be Rocket City, but he also took questions from reporters. As we were just talked about, he was taking some questions from Peter Doocy, and Peter Doocy asked President Trump about the rumors of his death, and here's how Trump responded. Watch.
Something completely different, but about a big viral social media trend over the weekend. How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see you for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I didn't see that. You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an interview that lasted for about an hour and a half with somebody, and everybody saw that was on one of your competitors.
But wait, the liberals are not finished with the predictions. I have shown a video on this show before of a TikTok psychic from the UK who predicted President Trump's death. This was a few weeks ago. She was wrong, obviously. This is another one, a totally separate TikTok psychic from the UK who thinks that President Trump is going to die tomorrow. Watch this.
Trump is going to die on the 3rd of September at 10 a.m. Could be 10 p.m. It was somewhere around that time. My premonitions are never wrong. And he's going to die of a heart attack. Now, I've just woke up and my premonitions always come in my dreams. And I wanted to put it here that you heard it here first. Now, it could be 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. my time.
It could really be whenever.
Time.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I have had quite a few premonitions that have came true.
She's also
and
naked.
When I was in school,
what is she wearing?
Used to call me Mystic Meg. But yeah, Trump is gonna die on the 3rd.
This woman is naked.
Did she have this premonition, woke immediately up from that dream, and did not get dressed before she made the TikTok?
She's like, hold on. I just woke up from this dream. I have to tell the whole world that Trump's going to die. She quickly, covers herself, thank goodness, with her bed sheet, and she gets on TikTok, and, she's the Paul Revere of...
There were a few wardrobe malfunction opportunities in that video. I'm very glad that
I am also
she kept
very
it
glad.
together.
Very glad that she kept it together. Well, we will check back tomorrow. Hopefully we see President Trump alive and well. Hopefully this woman's video does not age well. And President Trump will rise like a phoenix from the ashes yet again to own the libs. Love that. All this to say, this is the difference between the political right and left in the United States. We always say the tolerant left, and it used to be the party of the bleeding heart liberals who cared for the little guy, they cared for the planet, they mean well, and they still think that they're the party of love and kindness, but they're really anything but. When people complain about the divisiveness in this country, we have to stop making it out to be this generic issue that just plagues all of us. It stems from the left. The political violence, as much as they want to blame it on us and they bring up January 6th at every moment that they can, it stems from the left. The hateful rhetoric stems from the left. I don't hate liberals. I don't hate people who think differently than me or people who are different from me. I don't need all my friends to affirm my every belief system or thought. I just want to spend time with good people who bring out the best in me and vice versa. We have fun together. But the modern left hates people like us. They pin us as whatever phobic or ist word. They make us out to be this other, this group that is so evil we deserve to be taken out, and it would be justified. I have never felt the need to throw a cinder block at a police officer to make a political point or throw a brick into a small business to make a point about justice. Where is the justice in that? I have never felt the need to call for the deaths of Democrats or revel in the thought of one dying, celebrating that, wishing or hoping for that. We saw this a lot during COVID, if you remember. I remember President Trump had a rally, I think it was in Oklahoma, and people were passing away from COVID-19. I remember Herman Cain passed away shortly after that rally. The left was calling it a super spreader, and then leftists were cheering for the fact that Herman Cain died. They were happy that a Republican died from COVID. This is evil, godless, soulless, cold-hearted, disgusting behavior. They assume that people who are on the political right, or even people who just aren't outspoken leftists, are not worthy of being friends with, or even having a conversation with, associating with. I've heard countless stories of liberals cutting off their family members. I've never heard it the other way around. You can tell me in the chat Have you ever cut off a liberal family member, or was it the other way around? Were they cutting you off? I will let you tell your stories in the chat, because correct me if I'm wrong, I've just never heard it the other way. And this just serves as a reminder to not stoop to that level. Continue to see the humanity in other people and realize that even the people you disagree with most are more than a political affiliation. And we should not be calling for them to die. I didn't vote for President Biden. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I wish them well. I hope that they are healthy. You know, President Biden has this cancer diagnosis. That is sad. I don't want anyone to be sick or be hurting. Even the people that I disagree with politically, because of course they are human beings. Even the people who make their political affiliation their entire personality. They are humans. They are more than their political affiliation. And I really hope we can just get back to a time where we were just one people again, the American people, and it wasn't just this left-right, crazy, hateful divisiveness. And I really do think that, I mean, this reminder is for everyone, but it's really for people on the left who are the ones cutting people off just because they disagree. Want to take a quick break to tell you about our sponsors for tonight's show. First is Blackout Coffee. Let's talk about convenience, okay? I start my day with Blackout Coffee, and if you're like me, you need that caffeine fix fast in the morning. Everyone's busy. They've got to get their day started. Blackout is a great way to get your day started. Their coffee pods are a total game changer. These are not your average grocery store pods. Blackout pods are packed with fresh roasted, bold coffee made right here in Florida, and they work fast with single-serve pod brewers. So yes, it is fast, it is easy, it is actually delicious. None of that bitter, stale junk. You just pop one in, whatever coffee maker you have, boom, you've got a strong, smooth cup of coffee in just seconds. So whether you're racing out the door, juggling kids, jumping into back-to-back calls, this is your new morning lifesaver. And the best part is they ship nationwide, so no matter where you live, you can have Florida fresh coffee at your door in just days. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/scroll or use code SCROLL at checkout for 20% off your first order. Hey, you wake up in the morning, you get your Blackout coffee, but what sheets are you sleeping in, okay? You know those common myths we all hear, like cold weather causes colds, or we only use 10% of our brains? Here's another one. Thread count. Many people think that a higher thread count means better sheets, but it's really a measure of fabric density. When it comes to sheets, what actually matters is the quality of the thread itself, and that is where Boll & Branch comes in. Their sheets have changed the game for my sleep. They are crafted with premium organic cotton, making them feel so soft and luxurious. Plus, they are built to last. And the best part is they only get softer after every wash. I'm actually a little sad right now because my Boll & Branch sheets are in the wash, and I've got another brand on, and I can't wait for next weekend when I can switch it out and get my Boll & Branch back on my bed again. So it is not about how many threads there are, it's about how Boll & Branch makes you feel. So if you are after sheets that offer both luxury and durability, Boll & Branch is the way to go. Trust me, you will never look at your bed the same way again. Feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/scroll. That is Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/scroll to save 15% and unlock free shipping. Exclusions apply. Visit bollandbranch.com for details. All right, unfortunately, Congress is back. They had this long break. I guess they were off for, a month? I have never been off for a month. I've actually never taken a week off of work in my working career.
We got to get a wins-loss on Swalwell out there with the Leprechauns.
We do. We need an update.
For sure.
You know, they were keeping busy, going to the gym. They were sitting in the pool, tweeting about Trump. So whatever, they're back. Time flies when you're working. Seems like just yesterday they were all packed up for their summer vacation and we were making fun of them. But not so fast. Another government shutdown is now looming. They will have to find more money. This is, we could take down this headline. This is a few stories back. But they're going to have to find some more money from somewhere, us, the taxpayer, to keep the lights on. But first, this is what they have on deck for tomorrow. Congressman Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna they are hoping to force the release of the Epstein files. Now, Thomas Massie is filing a discharge petition to bypass leadership and force a vote on his resolution. If the resolution is passed, it would force the DOJ to unseal files related to Epstein by a certain period of time. So tomorrow, they plan to host a Capitol News conference featuring abuse survivors of Epstein and Maxwell. Now, we're going to cover this tomorrow. We're going to see what happens. I will stay on top of it. You all know how I feel about the Epstein stuff. I want anything related to him released. I don't care who is implicated. I don't care if Trump is implicated. I don't care if every single world leader goes down and the world burns to the ground. I want everything out in the open. You say that this is a transparent administration. Give us everything you got. The DOJ, according to them a few months ago, they had given us everything. They had gone through everything. Then, of course, due to public pressure, then it's like, well, you know, the story kind of changes. And then Pam Bondi says, oh, well, actually, the government's never interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. I guess we'll go do that. So the handling of this has been botched from the very beginning. And I take this stuff very seriously. I don't love the optics of Epstein victims speaking at some news conference in hopes of legislation being passed. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way. It kind of just seems a little icky, like they're being used as political pawns. I'm sure if they didn't want to speak or be involved, they wouldn't. And I'm certainly interested in what's going to happen tomorrow. But after the whole binder debacle, I just want whatever that is done to be done right. So I will stay on it. I just think I'd rather hear from Pam Bondi about what happened than the victims. I'm actually cool with protecting the victims and hearing from the people at the top who kind of ruined this from the very beginning. But then again, because of what I just said, it seems like Attorney General Pam Bondi responds to this kind of pushback. Everyone was mad at her. And then she said, okay, well, fine, we'll go interview Ghislaine Maxwell. So maybe this resolution, if it is passed, maybe this will push the DOJ to do something differently, you know? So I'm remaining hopeful that this will force something to happen. I just want it done right. And I want justice to be served, of course. So I'll look into that for tomorrow night's show. But speaking of holding criminals accountable, that has been the Trump administration's mission from the very beginning. It started with the robust approach to secure the southern border, deport people who don't belong here, and of course, restoring law and order to major cities across the nation. Famously, he started with LA when everyone was throwing bricks at cops for these No Kings protests, and now, of course, DC. But he teased sending the National Guard to Chicago. It was met with a bunch of pushback from Governor Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson, despite a holiday weekend full of crime. This happens in Chicago. All these criminals, they wait until the 4th of July weekend. 4th of July weekend is usually a bloodbath in Chicago because they say, oh, fireworks, perfectly. No one's going to hear the gunshots, and all these people die. This was no different. 58 people were shot in Chicago this weekend. 9 were killed. And it was the most violent holiday weekend of the entire summer. But despite those very inconvenient truths that these Democrat politicians don't want you to know, Mayor Johnson is telling his people to stand up against federal troops if/when President Trump decides to send them into Chicago. Listen to this.
Are you prepared to defend this land that was built by slaves, a land that was built by indigenous people, a land that is built by workers? Are you prepared to defend this land? The people united will always prevail. I need you all to stand firm, to stand strong if this president decides to continue to break this Constitution.
All these Democrats know how to do is blame Trump. They're pointing the fingers at Trump. Their cities are messes. They're a mess and they're dangerous. And when you ask people who actually live in these cities if this kind of presence is welcome, they say, yes, please. We've been waiting for something like this. Please. An actual president, someone who wants to do something to help us. And because it's President Trump and they're Democrats, they just have to fight him, even though this should be bipartisan. It should be bipartisan to live somewhere safe and feel safe walking around your city. And clearly, people who live on the south side of the Chicago, they don't feel so safe. Maybe these elites like Governor Pritzker and his buddies, donors and all these people, maybe they feel safe, people with private security, but people who don't have those luxuries and also live in Chicago, they don't feel that way. So very funny. And this is stolen land, and it's always, okay, so then go somewhere else then. I don't know. We're all living here, so like you're better than everyone because you're talking about it, you're virtue signaling. They're just annoying.
And
shut up.
Focus on the fact that people are getting shot all over the city all the time.
Like,
this just isn't Labor Day weekend. This has happened every weekend for 10 years. Police is understaffed. They can't get out. They can't patrol. They can't react anywhere. I mean, it's a bad neighborhood. So to get up there and just start peddling rally points.
And whether the land is stolen or not, people are dying. So would you rather you don't want the crime to be fixed because it's stolen land? What are you talking about?
And what does it matter who helps fix it? You know?
I don't know. Did you see this headline about Congresswoman Ilhan Omar? Just on the topic of Democrats and how corrupt and disgusting they are. Apparently, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth is $30 million. This is it just jumped to $30 million in 1 year. And this is all due to her figured out in her congressional financial disclosures. So it was first reported by the Washington Free Beacon. And Omar and her husband, they have a net worth, it's somewhere between $6 million and $30 million. And she, of course, is a Democrat. So Democrats, if they are millionaires, they have to say that they're not. So she has said many times that she's not a millionaire. And of course, they hate billionaires with a B. I mean, billionaires are even worse. But she's on her way. If she jumped from 6 million to maybe 30 million in just a year, I mean, she's well on her way. Where they made this money? Well, her husband's really rich. He owns 2 companies. He owns a winery in California, a la Gavin Newsom. This seems to be a trend, if you will. And he also owns a venture capital firm. So they're doing very well. And of course, she has her lowly government salary as well. But yeah, I mean, back in 2023, their financial disclosures said that they had ownership stakes in those 2 companies valued at just $51,000. They grew a little bit in 2024. All of a sudden, $30 million.
So he's gotten rich off of investing. Oh. Just like other Democrats have gotten rich off of investing. They all have gotten rich off of investing.
Do not believe when these people tell you they're in it to serve you. They are in it to get rich. They take their little government salary, which is more than a lot of people can say. It's more than what I make. It's more than what we make. And then they grift and they sell books. And I don't know how else they get money. Very corrupt ways. But, Bernie Sanders is a great example of one of these Democratic socialists who has 3 homes and millions of dollars. It's like, you guys are losers. And it is worse to get lectured by a socialist who's rich. On that note, brings me to, what's his name? Zoran Mamdani, who's running for mayor in New York City. He's also rich, Nepo baby, born into money. And of course, now he gets to run for mayor in New York City and to, see eye to eye, I guess, with all the poor people. He's saying, well, rich people, I hate rich people. Rich people, I hate billionaires, and billionaires don't deserve to exist. We need to steal all the billionaires' hard-earned money and just give it to everyone else who doesn't deserve it, So Zoran Mamdani, he just got Elizabeth Simons, daughter of Jamie Simons, to donate $250,000 to a PAC backing him. This is why politicians totally disgust me. They say they hate billionaires. They say nobody needs that much money, even though Mamdani grew up on it, until they need it. So they get to say nobody needs $1 billion, and then they get to call their $1 billion friends, their billionaire friends, and say, hey, donate to my PAC, donate to my campaign. I want to get elected. So they say that they stand for whatever will get them elected, and then they do what the lobbyists and the donors want them to do. And the worst part is when they're a socialist candidate. I mean, that is the real kicker. Billionaires are horrible. They're horrible people unless they can become billionaires themselves while they're in office, or they can just use their billionaire friends to, make their pipe dreams come true, the pipe dreams that they sell to the American people. It does not get more hypocritical than that. Speaking of hypocritical, Rosie O'Donnell, of course, she has
That's a good segue.
This is hypocritical, yeah. Well, Rosie O'Donnell, she, of course, had to apologize after saying this. She was saying that the Minnesota shooter was like a white MAGA guy, which we know is not true. Watch.
Well, hey, everybody. It's Thursday all day, as my Nana would say. And what can I tell you? I'm in Dublin, Ireland, having a great life, enjoying the people of Dublin, Ireland, and the culture and the sense of community. And so about the Minnesota shooting, and it brought me right back to Columbine in 1999, when I just could not get it through my head that students in America were shooting each other in schools. And this was a church inside a Catholic school. And what do you know, it was a white guy, Republican, MAGA person. What do you know?
Where does she get this?
White supremacist. Nothing has happened since Columbine. Nothing. The Million Mom March. Nothing. It's overwhelming.
Where do they get this stuff? The guy had like F Trump on his guns. And where does she get this stuff? Clearly she's not paying attention, which, by the way, she moved to Ireland to not pay attention. So go over there and leave us all alone then. She had to obviously apologize after making that video because she was so wrong. She said, I did not do my due diligence before I made that emotional statement. I said things about the shooter that were incorrect. I assumed, like most shooters, they followed a standard MO and had a standard, feelings of, NRA loving kind of gun people, which is crazy, by the way. Have we ever had an NRA member commit a mass shooting? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard of one. Anyway, she said, the truth is messed up. And when you mess up, you fess up. I'm sorry. This is my apology video, and I hope it's enough. You know what would be enough? Going away forever. You said you're going to Ireland to go live there and escape Trump. I mean, let yourself escape then. Put the phone down, because we don't want to hear from you. And when we do hear from her, it's wrong. So just shut up. Shut up and go away. Speaking of apologies, though, we have to talk about Snoop Dogg. We played this video on the show a few weeks ago, and he was saying that it was uncomfortable going to the movies with his grandson because these LGBTQ themes came up. So let's play this video for anyone who didn't see it.
I took my grandson to see Buzz Lightyear.
Toy Story?
Not that one, but the
new Buzz.
So we watching it, and man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like.
That part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
All right. So Snoop Dogg comes out and say this. I think a lot of people can appreciate this. A lot of parents, grandparents can watch this and say, yeah, I wasn't expecting to see these themes in movies, shows. And you already know my take on this. I think that parents and grandparents, this is how sick our society has gotten. We better be armed and ready to answer these questions because they're coming. And you can either say, I don't know, and let some other woke teacher fill in the blanks or Disney fill in the blanks, or you can get ahead of it and be ready to answer your child or your grandchild's questions. I also said, if we think that, you know, these LGBTQ themes are inappropriate, you know, for this example, lesbians having kids, or, you know, which is the reality. Like, gay people exist. They adopt children or use a surrogate or whatever. This exists. So that's why I think we should just be prepared to answer the questions because they're valid questions. But I think if you think that gay kissing or anything like that, these gay sexual themes are too much for children, which I agree with, remove all romantic and sexual things from movies. That was my take last week when we talked about this video. Remove it. I don't want to see people kissing. I remember being a kid watching movies and being like, this makes me uncomfortable. Because kids shouldn't be watching adults kiss. I don't care if it's like a prince and a princess. Like, call me crazy. But I just think that you can show love in other ways. There's no need to watch like romantic sexual interactions between adults and then put it in like a cartoon form and package it for kids. It's crazy. So I just think get rid of it. But anyway, people were all upset with Snoop Dogg and he had to put out an apology. Don't apologize. Do not apologize. This is what he said. I was just caught off guard and had no answer for my grandsons. All my gay friends know what's up. They've been calling me with love. My bad for not knowing the answers for a 6-year-old. Teach me how to learn. I'm not perfect. Which is kind of just a cop-out. If your gay friends are calling you and it's all love and they know your heart, then what? Like, just own the comments. It's not like he was lying. He was being honest when he said this stuff is hard to deal with my grandkids.
100% true. And we were on here after we played this. I was like, I'm glad, because a couple of weeks ago was Denzel talking about cancel culture. And I'm like, I'm glad some of these guys are like standing up to this, to say that you don't understand it or to say that it's not appropriate to be in kids' movies.
Totally.
Isn't offensive to anyone. It's just that it doesn't need to be in kids' movies.
I agree. I totally
So this
agree.
is just, Snoop. No. He's tougher than this.
That's what I was thinking. And then
he gangster rapped the whole 90s. He's tougher than this.
This is why, too, when we see someone come out, it's like conservatives rally around them because it's like, oh, they said the right thing. But then they always backtrack or they apologize. This is why when the whole Sydney Sweeney thing was happening, I'm like, leave her alone, because she's going to come out and say a statement like, these MAGA people are crazy. By the way, that we're, freaking out over this stuff and like wouldn't leave her alone. That, like, I just think, who cares what celebrities think about literally anything? I know I cover this stuff on my show, but it's like, they say the right thing and then they backtrack or they apologize for it. It's like, why do we even care? Why are we listening? Like, we can never trust them to stand on business. Stand 10 toes down and say, I'm Snoop Dogg and I don't like gay content for kids. Just stand down on that. Like, that is valid.
And whatever happened to, like, not everything is insulting. He just simply said,
this is a hard question to answer.
It's a hard question to answer, and I don't know that we should have 6-year-olds looking at this or trying to get confused by these themes in movies. Like, that's not offensive.
And he said, too, like, my gay friends know that I'm all love and I understand. Okay, so then why are you apologizing to these internet warriors you don't know? And who cares what they think? Who cares?
There were other comedians, though, like Marlon Wayans and people like that are big wigs that sort of did come out and call Snoop out
cares?
For this. Agreed.
Who cares? Anyway, we have some football stories, and I have a football video for you too, Andy, at the end of the show. That's my last video, so I do want to get to that. But Secretary Marco Rubio, he made a joke in a cabinet meeting with President Trump, basically saying, Saturdays are for the boys. They're not for boys and girls getting married. They're just for the boys. Watch this.
And then on a point of personal privilege, I wasn't even going to raise it. I haven't even talked to you about this. It's a little controversial, but I think I need to bring it up at this time of year. This thing about people getting married on Saturdays during college football season is a scourge, Mr. President. It's dividing families. And I don't know if we can have an executive order on this. I'm just saying, but it's really difficult. There's 7 other months of the year that people could get married. So I just wanted to say that because it's very, very difficult. Thank you.
What's your take on weddings during the fall college football season?
No, don't have them. Don't have them. Fall weddings, I guess, are like all right.
It's
I mean,
prime
people want to have
season.
them there, but listen, the spring is a beautiful time. That's a new relationship. You know what I'm saying? The rejuvenance of nature, new young love. Get married in the spring, people. You know what I mean? Underneath
here's the
blooming
problem.
trees, fresh allergies in the air, everybody sneeze.
I'll tell you this. People don't normally do the springs. They don't do the March. They don't do the April because the weather's very unpredictable.
Well, where I'm from in the south,
It's very rainy.
In the fall, it's low-level clouds and cold in the fall.
Yeah, but that's okay. People don't mind that. Cold is better than rainy, unpredictable spring weather. So I think that's why people do it. People also don't want to get married in the dead heat in the summer because they don't want to be sweating with the hair and the makeup and
What
and
about
all
like
that.
Tuesday nights? What about like a 5:30 wedding on a Tuesday night in the fall?
Tuesday night?
Yeah, there's no football or anything. It's there. You're not asking people to
No,
get away from
'cause then
anything.
Yeah, but you're asking people to take a day off of work.
No, just show. It's 5:30 wedding. Just show up at 5.
Well, I wouldn't be able to make it. You wouldn't be able to make it.
We'll do a pre-tape.
Anyway, my take is if you can't be there for your friend, whether he is getting married on Saturday or not, you might have your priorities messed up. I understand that you want to watch football. I have been, by the way, to a wedding on Saturday in the fall, and I have seen guys in the church watching football on their phones. Come on. You get push notifications. I know that ESPN, you can get push notifications and keep up with it, but like phones in church, really?
I wouldn't go that far because what I would do is you record the game and you avoid everyone. Make it obnoxiously known that you don't want to know the score to the point of like swinging at somebody. Don't tell me the Cowboys score. I've got the game recorded and I will be home to watch it
Later.
Absolutely, yes. That way you can be present and you get both. Just don't tell me the score.
Right. The thing is with weddings, though, people are out all night, so they're not really going back to the hotel room or wherever to... Anyway, I just thought that was funny. All right, let's get into some scrolling time. All right. When I say I dislike Taylor Swift, it is because I do not personally like her music. I think there are some songs, some of the older stuff that's catchy, but for the most part, I am not a fan. I've seen her live in concert when I was in high school. Someone had another ticket and I went. I didn't even seek it out. I was not impressed. And from what I've seen online from the Eras Tour, she has not even really gotten that much better. She needs a lot of bells and whistles to put on a show. She can't dance. She's very awkward, and her vocals are not so incredible that she could just sit on a stool with a guitar and blow everyone away. Andy, would you agree, or am I off base?
I'm telling you it's truth. Listen to me. Taylor Swift is a singer-songwriter. Like the beautiful thing about the 60s and the 70s, people didn't have amazing. Chris Christopherson's voice wasn't amazing, but he wrote great songs. She's not a pop star. She's tethered more to country music and brought that into pop. But like, and her heart, what she is I'm going to grab an acoustic and I'm going to sit in a coffee shop and I can sing a good song I've written.
That has been that's Taylor Swift.
But
from
I'm
10,
just telling you, that's not
years ago.
commercialized, people making money off of her being used version of Taylor Swift. What she is, the talents that God gave her as a musician. She's a singer, songwriter. And there's a ton of those. And she's great at it. She writes music for other people. But what she is now, it's not, I mean, she's not
People
Beyonce.
argue that she is like the lyricist of our generation. And then she writes, "Karma is a cat on my lap that purrs because it loves me." And then they literally look you dead in the eye and say she is like a lyrical genius. I'm like, okay.
All we are is dust in the wind. You know, I mean, it's like
Anyway.
I'm not saying that she's bad. I'm just saying that what her talent is not going out in front of 80,000 and dancing.
No, and she does not have the vocals of Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, like all these people. She does not dance. She doesn't put on a show like Britney Spears, Tate McRae, Dua Lipa, Zara Larsson, like all these people, these pop stars now. She's just not on their level, and that's okay. But the level of hype doesn't really make sense. All she does is stomp around. So for the reasons I just laid out, I think the fan base is obsessed with her because she is one of them. She's one of the girls. She's attainably attractive, attainably talented. Her fan base identifies with her in that way. A lot of Taylor Swift fans, stay with me here. I'm making fun of them, okay? A lot of Taylor Swift fans make bracelets. They hand each other friendship bracelets. It's very immature. It's giving emotionally stunted, in my opinion. You're supposed to grow up from things that you enjoyed as a little girl, but I think Taylor Swift gives them this nostalgic feel, and they lean into this like childlike wonder the same way that Disney adults do. And the ones who are really, really obsessed are mentally unstable. I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill fan who likes a few of her songs. I'm talking about the crazy people, okay? They are delusional. There are people on the internet who have made videos about how they are engaged at the same time as Taylor Swift and they are in their bridal era together. No, you are not. She does not know who you are. You think that you're in this together, but this is a parasocial relationship that has spiraled out of the control. So this woman is crying over Taylor Swift's engagement. Watch this.
Taylor Swift engagement, super shocking at first, but now that I'm like actually processing that the artist that I've known for the longest in my life, I posted my reaction video and I just sat there for a moment and I was like, holy shit, like she's engaged, like go girl, be happy, get it, like get that fucking shit, be so fucking happy. I love seeing that happy smile on your face. And that's just so sweet and beautiful. And I don't know. It feels like I don't know this person. Why do I care that somebody I don't know got engaged? But you do know the person a little bit.
No.
When they've shared so much about their life.
You don't. Now, if you think that's crazy, this woman changed her name legally because of Taylor Swift. Watch this.
I legally changed my name to Caroline Melissa Taylor because of Taylor Swift. And if you don't like that, go touch grass. Also, if anyone can let Taylor know, because I still don't know whether or not she knows I did this.
Me touch grass? Me touch grass? I have to touch grass? You changed your name because of someone you've never met. Melissa Taylor? What did she say her name was? Melissa Taylor Swift or something? So she made Taylor her middle name. Last name. She made Taylor her last name. And then she said in the video, like, I hope someone tells Taylor, like Taylor probably doesn't know this. Taylor Swift is probably sitting on a private jet thinking, this girl is psychotic and I should probably up my security detail. I mean, these people are not normal. And let me just say, I think I know who they voted for. It's crazy. Who has a fan base like this?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Cry over them. Like, these people are not stable.
When I was in high school, the rage of like Britney Spears and Christina and like that kind of pop thing was
They're talented. Christina Aguilera,
she can sing her face off 100%.
Yes.
But all I'm saying is they were as big as it was, maybe aside from Michael Jackson in the late 80s, like. But the fan base wasn't changing their names to like,
no. I remember,
Aguilera.
It's like the girls crying at the Beatles concerts, right? Or like people fainting. Like that's maybe the same level of fame, but none of them are
like
changing.
Or, Elvis doing his leg shakes on,
right?
I hear you.
I don't know, but this is.
But but it's just all over social. It's just. Oh, it's a mind hive.
If you're upset about this, you should touch grass. You need to seek therapy.
Yeah, I'm going to go touch grass.
All right. Speaking of touching grass, this painting major, can you go to college for painting? I guess so. She's even making fun of herself. Watch this. How it feels to tell people I'm graduating next year with a painting degree, and she's acting like a baby, and she looks like a liberal. If you're
So I'll have a caramel latte, please, venti, with a blueberry muffin.
Exactly, Andy. This is what people are saying in the comments. I'm going to pull this up now so we can read through the comments together. But yeah, people are saying, well, if you're a painting major, that means you're going to work at Starbucks. Someone said, see you at the nearest Starbucks. Less ice and a splash of milk, please. Oh, I know you'll be making a mean chai latte. Oh my God, what's your major? You know, drawing, moving pictures and stuff. Congrats, bro. Just a heads up. I like my burgers. No tomato, extra onion. Art and psychology, double employment. In this economy, someone said you paid money for college to study painting. I mean, seriously. This is scary. In this economy, I mean, you got to graduate with something that's going to give you something. You're going to make, she's not going to have 2 pennies to rub together.
No, hey, not everybody can be Hunter Biden, okay, with painting. No, so let's just.
Not everyone can have those Nepo baby connections. But speaking of this, you know, when you go into a Starbucks, the baristas look a certain way, right? And there's this online joke about your latte is going to be good if you have a they-them barista. Yes. Yeah. You walk into Starbucks and if you see someone that's got a septum piercing and green hair, you're going to have a great latte.
What about somebody that has a mustache or a goatee and lipstick and eyeliner? Is that a good goatee? Is that a good coffee?
Yeah, this is their life's mission, is to be a barista. They went to school for painting. All right, it's almost the end of the show. So I want to play this last video that Andy has not seen, okay? Justin cut this, but this is a very cute video for anyone all my Tennessee Vols fans. This is for you. Watch this.
What did you say?
Football time in Tennessee.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's what?
That's really football time in Tennessee.
Isn't her accent so cute? What's your reaction? I saw that video and I said,
that's the way everybody in Tennessee talks, though. That's.
I know, it's just cute when you see a baby with an accent that's that strong. I mean, I guess you got to learn it from somewhere, but it's very cute.
And by the way, Tennessee won on. I'll talk that way. By the way, Tennessee won on Saturday, and so we had a good victory down there in Atlanta and pulled it off against the Syracuse Orangemen. And so go Vols.
It's VFL.
That stands for Vols for Life.
All right, well, go sports. That's where I stand on all of this. And I will see you right back here tomorrow. You can follow me on social media at Haley Carania on Instagram, TikTok, Truth Social, X, of course. And this was fun. I'll see you then.